Today's AskReddit post. What's something that every parent should tell their child? Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. Let's get started. It's alright to make a mistake, as long as you can admit it and grow from it. A good parent shouldn't be afraid to apologize to their kid when they're wrong. Yeah, if you can't apologize to a 3-year-old, you've got humility, which, to me, is a very important trait to have as a human being, especially as a parent. I remember this time when I was 5-6 or so, and my mom accidentally made a small grease fire, I'm talking like 4 inches across, in the pan. Apparently she never knew to not pour water on a grease fire, and when I told her, she did it anyways. Steam. She never knew to not pour water on a grease fire, and when I told her, she did it anyways. Steam. Steam and, more importantly, fire. It's the formation of tiny droplets of oil that is the problem, as these combust easily, leading to a fireball. I'm proud of you. Gonna make me cry. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Our unexpected recall. If you make a mistake and need help, come to me. Kids tend to make bad situations worse by trying not to get caught. I know way too many people who got in drunk driving accidents because they were too afraid to call their parents for help and drove home or got in the car with a drunk driver. My mom told this to me, and I think a lot more parents should. I don't care if you get too drunk at a party, as long as you tell me and I can pick you up. I won't yell. I won't punish you, as long as you are responsible and it doesn't happen all the time. In my opinion, teaching your kids it's okay to be a bit rebellious, make mistakes, and live their life and their teens is a good thing to do. I never had a reason to not trust my mom because of this. OFC, I got consequences for some things, but if I ever made a mistake and needed her, she was there. I had to lie about everything growing up. My mother was so strict, she tried to control everything from what music I listened to what friends I could have. Mistakes were not tolerated. Now I'm in my 30s and she doesn't know me at all. I'm more of a distant acquaintance than a daughter. This could have been written by me. The strictest parents raise the best liars. My father strongly believed in harsh physical punishment. My sister and I are excellent liars. Admitting they can be wrong sometimes. Parents are humans and make mistakes. Kids need to see that. Maybe also say thanks if the child is correcting their mistakes. Unless the kid is consistently rude about doing it, don't let them be rude to others due to their errors. Everyone has problems. Learning from them is what shows a person's character. Yeah, I'm a teacher and I make mistakes constantly in front of my kids. They also correct me constantly. I thank them for the correction and emphasize how adults make mistakes just like kids and we're all learning. However, if they say it with a rude tone, I do call them out on it. I kindly thank them for the correction and then let them know their tone wasn't very kind and show them a more polite tone to use. Yes, I teach this lesson explicitly to kindergartners. I want them to know how to correct adults confidently, courteously, and kindly. We also work on knowing when it is and isn't appropriate to correct. But there's a lot of nuance there for young kids. I was raised with children seen and not heard, and I want better than that for my students. Be kind. You never know what someone might be going through, and I love you. Sometimes you're just collateral damage in someone's war with themselves. I don't know why, but this made me tear up. Virtual hug. Holds on a little too long. If anyone ever tells them, this will be our little secret, especially if it involves physical contact, my child needs to get as far away from that person ASAP. Find a trusted adult and contact me. My child will know they will not be in trouble for telling, and I will always believe them. There are good secrets and bad secrets. Bad secrets that make you feel unhappy don't need to be kept a secret. You either can tell me, grandma, or your teacher, and we all will work together to make that secret go away so you can feel happy again. You will never ever be in trouble for telling about a secret that makes you feel bad. This. Exactly. Kids need to know you will love them no matter what's happened to them or what they were coerced into doing. I love you, just the way you are, and when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. The proper terminology for their genitals. Other adults aren't always going to know what your kid means when they say someone played with my monkey or my tutu. And predators aren't going to call them by the proper names either. So it's another deterrent for abuse to occur. Vagina, penis, vulva, testicles, these are not dirty words, people. Edit. Thank you for the award, kind stranger. I'm also glad to know my kids aren't the only ones embarrassing me to death. So thank you for the last two. Worth repeating. Vagina, penis, vulva, testicles, these are not dirty words, people. You get extra points if you get them in the right order. The doctors were amazed, especially 25 minutes later, when you have to go back to that question. Sorry, when appropriate. Look out for the smaller kids on the playground. Kindness is free, so make sure to use it. Part of our routine is asking who he was nice to that day. Now that I'm doing daycare drop-off, I ask who he can be nice to and sometimes offer suggestions on nice things to do. It's important to be kind, but you don't need to be everyone's best friend. Some people are just not going to like you, and that's okay. It goes both ways. Also, being a teenager is ducking hard work. It gets so much better after high school. I promise. Now that's sound life advice right there. Be careful with your choice of friends, and with your choice of relationships. Sometimes none is better than one. Whenever another kid is being mean to them, physically or verbally, don't tell your child that the other kid was being mean to them because they like your child. Your child might grow up mistaking abuse for affection. You just have to imagine that both parties are grown up here. A little boy made fun of the way you act. AWW sweetheart. He just has a little crush on you is all. Versus, oh my goodness, he won't let you do X because he doesn't like it. That's a red flag for a manipulative partner. Get out of there now. Why is it so bad when they're grown-ups but somehow cute when they're kids? Teach the one to have self-respect and the other to have respect for others, otherwise it turns into the second situation above. Childhood is like being drunk. Everyone remembers what you did except you. So be careful, my dad. Except we're also going to use everything you do to belittle you, make you feel like you're unwanted, and pressure you to be a copy of us at the expense of who you actually are. My parents. They have a poor outlook. You can learn both positive and negative lessons from parents, and you can choose to live the opposite way. I hope you can value yourself regardless of anyone else's opinion. You are loved. You are wanted, and regardless how you choose to live your life, I'll always love you. Reminds of the help you is kind, you is smart, you is important. Memo smart. Maybe not your life is too easy. You have nothing to be depressed about. This. I had to go to a physiotherapist last year because of pain in my diaphragm, and they told me that the pain was a result of stress. When I told my mom, she was like, the duck do you have to be stressed about? When I was on multiple antidepressants and barely functional, my mom always just said it must be my diet and I needed to go outside and let the sun hit my retina. Do you want to talk about anything? I wish my parents would ask me this. Same friend. Knock the door before you enter. Oh my gosh. Yes, it's non-verbal, but knocking, and even better, waiting for permission to enter before doing so, is so important, especially for teens. It gives them their own sense of privacy and freedom, and that's so important. It's a matter of discretion and you might not like what you're about to witness. Just knock on the door before entering somewhere. Also, closing the door. Have respect for how others like their personal environment. You will always be my child, and I'll always want to take care of you. But you have the right to ask me to let go when you feel the time is right. If you try to make it on your own but fall, call me anyway. I want to be there to catch you. After all, parents can't drive forever. At some point the kid needs to take the wheel. A parent's job is to make sure the kid is confident enough to ask for help when they need it. They don't need to know everything. Disclaimer. Does not apply to actual cars. I appreciate your input. You won't always be right and what you say won't always change my mind, but I still value your opinion. Apostrophe. Communicate with your kid. Most of the time you will know better than they will, but at least listen to what they have to say. Remember to also keep an open mind and be willing to compromise. That's the most retarded idea I have ever heard. My dad. Early 2010s. Don't fucking go into any random people's vans or cars at all. But they're not random. They're friends of yours. But I wanna the free ice cream. And his dog just had puppies and they're in the van. Stop running around the restaurant, Jimmy. Also say I love you, but still. I love you, Jimmy, but you're gonna have to stop running around the gosh darned restaurant. Right? Double quotation mark. Express that it's okay to feel uncomfortable and not want to do something. I saw a post where a mother taught her daughter to say hello, but if she didn't want a hug or a kiss on the cheek, she was never forced to do so. If the kid felt comfortable, she would do it. Expressing that this is okay seems pretty important, emo. This. My sil forces her 2 toddlers to kiss and hug everyone goodbye when they leave. They don't see me often and I can tell they're a little hesitant to do it. So I always say that's alright, we can high five goodbye. But my sil insists and it's pretty awkward. Now I have my own toddler who says goodbye however she prefers. Waves at some people. Cuddles others. You aren't making a difference by arguing with shitheads on the internet. Yes, I am, and you can't prove it. Your low academic performance does not mean you'll be a failure in life. And vice versa. National merit finalist / 2-time college dropout. If you sprinkle when you tinkle, be a sweetie and wipe the city. Gentlemen, move closer. It's shorter than you think. Ladies, please stay seated for the whole performance. Rules of Legend. My mom had a plaque hanging in the bathroom with this title my entire childhood. I wonder if she still has it. I think my grandmother had this too. It's a shame all the women in everyone's lives passive aggressively trying to tell everyone to quit pissing all over their toilet and floors. I have 3 boys. Teenage boys. This is my life now. It's always a game of Clue to find out who was in there last so they can clean it up. I love you. I am proud of you and I'm happy to have you. Sweet dreams. See you tomorrow. The world is a ducked up place. People are going to hate you for the sake of hating you. And spit on you for what you believe. What I want you to know is I'll always support you. And I'll never be disappointed in what you do with your life as long as you love it, my dad. If someone is harming you, I don't care what the school says, you are free to defend yourself. I will not ever ground or be upset with you using self-defense. We totally agree with this, as well as changing the never hit a girl narrative. We have a son. If he's at school or whatever and a girl is physically attacking him, then it's okay to use physical self-defense. As long as it's reasonable self-defense, then we will never punish him for using it in the correct scenario. Obviously de-escalating is the first port of call. Also, it's okay to walk away. It doesn't make you less of a man to walk away from a fight if you can. And walking away should always be a first resort. Then try to de-escalate if you can't walk away. Then use physical self-defense reasonably. Capital X. Family medical history, and write it down. Because we all forget. No, my son. Don't just eat a candy because it's a candy. Eat only good candies. You'll pry my handfuls of black licorice jelly beans that nobody else wanted from my cold dead hands. Never dive headfirst into unfamiliar water. My cousin broke his neck that way. Having money doesn't make you better than anybody else. Edit. Typo. You didn't ask to be born, so it's my responsibility to take care of you. Pay for your expenses and make food, and you don't have to thank me for it because it's normal. Actual thing my parents told me as a child. Preach. Also, even if you didn't birth the child but took on the responsibility, you took on all of that. You don't get to demand eternal undying gratitude for keeping them alive and supplying their basic needs. Don't judge a person by the color of their skin. I know it's simple, but I feel like it fits with what's going on with the world right now. I'm not sure I agree that this needs to be told. I think it's better to just treat everyone the same, and the kid will instinctively learn that there is no difference between people with different colored skin and just see everyone as equal. Kids spend too much time at school or other places away from their parents for them to only learn from parents. Even if parents model all kinds of good behaviors, kids still pick up bullshit out in the world. That's why it's good to explicitly say things too. I concur. My kid randomly came out with "I don't like black people." No idea where that came from. We live in a liberal city where we have a lot of diversity, and he knows a lot of POC and has friends from all cultures. Although the population here is only about 14% black. So unfortunately he doesn't get to interact with black kids at school and see how their kids like him. We've even been discussing BLM and why it's so important to treat all people well. Best we can guess is he heard it from someone else at school or summer camp. We had and will continue to have talks about relating to everyone respectfully. That's it. Okay to ask for help and no one will think less of them. Speak up. Say what's on your mind. So many kids are taught it's rude to talk back to your parents that it sometimes robs them of the confidence to speak up anywhere. Always have an open mind before coming to an opinion. Question and research the facts before blindly following someone else's lead. It's alright to fail, as long as you pick yourself back up and learn something from it, and that you still love them no matter their grades and their beliefs. At least that's what I wanted to hear from my parents. You are enough. You don't have to be anyone you're not. You don't have to respect anyone that disrespects you, even if they're your elder. There was a Tumblr post that talked about this. I can't find it, so I'll try to quote it as best I can. Sometimes people use respect to mean treating someone like an authority figure, and sometimes they use it to mean treating someone like a person. And sometimes people will say if you respect me, I'll respect you, when they mean if you treat me like an authority figure, I'll treat you like a person. And that's wrong. How to be emotionally intelligent. I feel like I didn't use a lot of my 20s to their full potential because I was an emotional idiot. I'll never be mad at you when you are telling me the truth. Asterisk. I always told my son that I'd be a little mad if he told me the truth about a bad thing he did, and he might be punished, but we could discuss things. But I'd be very upset if I discovered the lie and punishment would be assured. I don't know if he lied less, but he was never surprised by my reaction either way. The honesty of that statement though. Kids always hear "I won't be mad if you tell the truth." Then tell the truth and the person is mad. It's no wonder kids don't trust adults. Just be honest with them. I'm a grown adult, 27, and I still have to tell other grown adults to just be honest with me. Men have feelings and are to be respected just like women are, and that you can be a woman and be sexist. Equity is equity for everyone. Things I tell my kids. You don't have to be happy all the time. It's okay to feel what you need to feel. It's your body, and you get to choose what happens to it. Do you know how much I love you? I love you so much. I love how hard you work. I believe you can do it by yourself. I believe in you always. You can always get a mommy hug. There is nothing you could ever do that will make me stop loving you. I'm not a parent, but something I wish my parents would have told me before graduation is that, even though I have friends in high school, to always have it in the back of my mind that they were going to move on after high school, and so was I. Whatever happens in high school is just a small moment in the timeline of your life. As important as it seems during the time, in the end it really doesn't matter. It's different if it is a big life decision like tests, picking your next level of education, jobs and family matter. Coping skills to process their emotions. Bro, you actually watched the whole video. I'd give you a high five if I was a human. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe for more great content. See you next time.